What's up, everybody? It's your host, Jonathan Brown. Welcome to another episode of the Reality Roundtable Podcast. This podcast will be a little different from the other ones because today will be a solo show, and today I will be recapping the battle that just happened between T-Pain and Lil Jon on IG Live. Now, each guy, while they are both legends in their own right, were given 20 songs that they could each play head to head. And in my opinion, I feel like Lil Jon won 12-8. Now, mind you, just about every song they played was a hit. But in my opinion, see, T-Pain went first. And T-Pain would come out and he'll play like a strong hit. Then Lil Jon would just come out and then it would just be like slightly better. So it wasn't like, even though the score to me was 12-8, it wasn't like T-Pain like got blown out of the water or anything like that. It's just that Lil Jon would just play like you know, it's just that he would just play a song that was just so strong that I just couldn't give, T-Pain the point over Lil Jon. Also, there was a lot of people. I think the most it reached was like 268,000, maybe 270,000 people on the live. And when I tell you, like, this live was just so entertaining, I mean, with everything going on with the whole coronavirus thing, people being quarantined, everybody can't, people just can't go outside, do our normal thing. So these IG lives that have been happening, it's been really good because, we need something, to keep our minds off of everything that's going on in the world. And these IG lives do provide us a form of entertainment. And this battle right here was just so legendary. And there was a lot of celebrities in the room. And when it came to scoring the contest, these celebrities are all friends and everything. So, it was like a lot of industry. I feel like it was a lot of industry politics. Everybody be like, "Oh, score's tied. Score's tied." It's like 7-7, 8-8. I'm like, no, like, see me, I'm not friends with them, so I'm calling it down the middle. I'm saying, see, with me, I scored it like, okay, like, which song was better? Okay, you get a point. You get a point. But it's like their celebrity friends felt that both of them had like equally good songs. They would give them both a point. But not me, like, I scored it based on like who had the better song in that round. Now, there was one instance where T-Pain played a song and he was like, "Lil Jon, like, don't get mad at me. Like, don't get mad at me." And next thing you know, he played a song that I did not think he would play, especially in the time we living in right now. But he played the song "I'm a Flirt" with R. Kelly, and I cannot tell y'all how hard I cheered when he played that song. Now, I know I might get a couple. I know I might, have people looking at me sideways after saying that, but I mean, BS aside, R. Kelly made good music. And that's just the truth. So when T-Pain played that song, I'm sitting there, I'm like, yes. And it was just at that point one time, it was just at that point that no matter what Lil Jon played next, T-Pain was going to get that point for me because it is hard to top a song with you got R. Kelly in it. It really, really is a hard song. But before the contest even got underway, they both agreed not to play the song "You and That," which featured E40, and the song "Cyclone" because they were both involved in it, either as a feature or as a writer on the song. Now, with this battle, even though like they were both legendary, I felt like this battle really did live up to the hype because like just about everything they played was hits. It's just the fact that I feel like Lil Jon won because T-Pain just went first. I feel like had T-Pain not went first, he probably would have won the battle. But everything was all good because I just respect the friendly competition that this platform provides. And mind you, the next day we're gonna have Teddy Riley versus Babyface and L.A. Reid. Now, a lot of young kids they're not gonna know who that is, but us old heads, I know a lot of y'all gonna look at me like, "Old head, bro, you're only 22," but I listen to a lot of old school music. A lot of us old heads are actually really looking forward to seeing that pop off. And also, like during this battle, I learned a few things. Like I learned that T Pain and Chris Brown were in the video for the song "Presidential" by the Young Bloods. I did not know that at the time. Um, also learned that Lil Jon produced the song "Blow the Whistle" by Too Short. That's one thing I did not know. And I also learned that Lil Jon produced the song "Tell Me Where to Go" by E40. Now those two are some classic joints right there. But one thing, well, a couple things that like I was kind of disappointed in. Mind you, I grade this battle 10 out of 10. But one thing that I was disappointed with is that the song that T Pain decided to end with was "All I Do Is Win" with DJ Khaled. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh man, you could have played something else besides that. I mean, he did play Chopped and Screwed as a bonus song, but I mean, Lord, he could have played something else with the long catalog that he had. And also, Lil Jon, he decided to end the whole thing by playing the song "Turn Down for What." I'm like, oh, come on, man. Like, y'all were so strong. Mind you, like, those two are good songs. But, like, I'm just saying, for me, they're not classics for me. Maybe All I Do Is Win is a classic because, like, the cultural impact that it had. But the song that Lil Jon played, I just don't see that one as a classic. Like, it's not something like I will like go back in my playlist and like want to play. But and Lil Jon could have played the song "Shawty Wanna Ride" by Young Buck, cause he produced it, and that's a song that people can ride out to. That's a song that I wish he would have played, and also Lil Jon didn't even play the song "Yeah" with him, Usher, and Ludacris. Now, mind you, after the battle was over, he did play a new song with him, Usher, and Ludacris. That was produced by Jermaine Dupri. And it sounded really good. It's just the fact that he just didn't play the whole thing, which was smart because you do want to keep us waiting. But also after the whole thing was over, T Pain played the song "Chopped and Screwed." And I feel like he could have played that song instead of "All I Do Is Win." "Chopped and Screwed" was just a better song to me than "All I Do Was Win." But this battle was much needed, especially for me because I was feeling kind of down in the day, and this battle was just something I was just looking forward to. So as soon as 9 o'clock hit, I went on T Pain's Instagram page, and there he was. He was live. I was on time. He was on time. Y'all know they say black folk don't do nothing on time. We be on color people time. So when we say we're gonna do something, it's like expected to be like 5-10 minutes late. But nah, he was on time that day. I was on time getting there too, and I was just able to see the whole thing. And like watching, listening to this battle, it made me really appreciate the impact that the two of these guys really, really have had on the culture. And like listening to it, it made me realize like how much of their music that I really, really grew up on. And to me, like I call their music like this is MySpace music. Like this is music like you. Now let me explain before I go on. Let me explain what MySpace is. MySpace is Facebook before Facebook, but cooler. Like you can make your own background. You can put games on your profile. You can even have like there was a little section on your profile where you can even have your own song, and you can have like a playlist on your profile. So when I say that this was MySpace music, like the songs that they were playing, those are songs that I will like put on my MySpace page. Mind you, I'm like 7, 8 years old with a MySpace page, so I'm no stranger to the social media thing. I'm a social media veteran, so y'all really can't tell me nothing. But I just appreciated like this whole thing because like the entertainment value that this thing has. I just hope that legends in the game, they keep it going. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to the Teddy Riley versus Babyface and LA Reid thing because Like there's just things that coming into these battles that I didn't even know, and some of the songs that Lil Jon played during this battle, he like there were songs that he wasn't even like actually featured on, but he produced, and I didn't know that Lil Jon like had like that extensive of a list as a producer. But Lil Jon's skills as a producer just as good as his skills as an artist. So, like the first song that T Pain played, I forgot what it was, but like he just came out so strong, and it was it was really good because like these guys like the songs that they were playing, I would say like out of the 40 songs that were played, 20 by each, I would say maybe four of them total I wouldn't consider hits. Like the rest of the 36 songs that were played, I would consider those hits. And like battles like that, like when you get battles like that, like stuff like that, people should have to pay for. We shouldn't get stuff like this for free on Instagram. But with the conditions that we're in, people are still trying to, find a way, to keep their name in the limelight. And this is really a good way because people are like able to come together, and it's just cool to see like all the people in the comment section, like people, you know, people with different opinions, like who won this round, who won that round. And I'm not gonna lie, like I felt like with the way I scored, I felt like I did call it down the middle. Now a lot of people may have different opinions about it, but I feel like I called it fairly. And if you were one of the people who saw the battle as well, I would like to know like what you thought about it. Like I would like to know who you think won. I would like to know like what song you thought was the best. The song that I thought was the best was of course the "I'm a Flirt" song. But there was this one, I think it was one song. It was the "Buy You a Drink" song. Like T Pain had played that song, and I was for sure thinking that T Pain was gonna win that round. Next thing you know, Lil Jon came back and he played some cut. And I'm like, ooh. Mind you, I had already scored a round for T Pain. Then Lil Jon had just played that song. Then I'm like, ooh, yeah, Lil Jon got you on that one. Like it's gonna be hard to give you. It's gonna be hard to give you that one. But all in all, like I really really appreciate it. Like how this was done. Like it was well organized. I appreciate Swiss Beats and Timberland for putting it together, and also like the unreleased songs that were played. I feel like it was really good to hear because it really sounded like real music. It sounded like something you would hear like in 2000s R&B. So I'm really looking forward for them to actually release those songs, and you know I've just enjoyed all these Instagram lives. Not only have I enjoyed the Instagram live that I'm talking about right now, but another Instagram live that I've really enjoyed is Tory Lane's Quarantine Radio. Quarantine, quarantine, quarantine. If you know about that, I really don't need to go into detail about it. And also another live that I've been able to enjoy during this whole pandemic thing is Boosie's. Even though Instagram had hit Boosie up and told him that he really needed to calm down, but with Tory's IG live, they told I think they told him that he couldn't get on live for like 5 days or something like that. So we're gonna have to wait till Monday the set no yeah we're gonna have to wait till Monday the 6th until he can get back on live. So we'll see how long his Instagram stays up. But thank you for joining me on this live. Also, by the way, before I go, I want to say R.I.P. to the legend Bill Withers. He had some classic songs that the generation before me grew up on, and he was a legend in the game. And I just want to say R.I.P. to that man. And I would like to say thank you for joining me on this episode of Reality Roundtable. I'm your host, Jonathan Brown, and I'll see you next time.